Hey, happy days. Sharon Horne-Ellstrom here, also known as Pajama Grandma, in kind of risque pajamas. I guess I better shut that up a little bit. Today, my question is, what do you do when you mess up? When you mess something up? I told somebody I would do something, and I totally messed it up. I realized yesterday that I had no sound on a video that I did. I was doing a funnel review for an amazing couple, and luckily, I don't know why, I didn't check my microphone when I was recording, but I checked the video before I sent it yesterday, and I'm like, what the hell, there's no sound. Now, I wish this was the first time I'd ever done that, but I've made whole Facebook Live audios online with an audience, which they dropped off, of course, but I couldn't see that they were dropping off, with no sound. So you think the first thing I would automatically do is check my sound, but I don't always do it. Sometimes I'm just in a hurry to get something done and do it, and I don't go through my own checklist. So what do you do when you mess up? Well, you tell the person you mess up. Well, of course, I forgot to email them yesterday. So this morning, I'm like, Amanda, I totally forgot to turn on the microphone and turn on my sound when I was recording your video. So I have to redo it today. Now, if I were skilled and if I had the talent and the ability to dub something or do a voiceover or talk over it again, I could probably do that, but I don't have those skills, so I just will reshoot it. Plus, every time I redo something again, it's always better, so it'll be way better this time anyway, right? There's always an upside to when you mess up. But when you mess up, what do you do? How do you fix it? Number one, you have to fix it, right? Number two, admit that you did it. Admit we're all human. I mean, after 772 days, you would think I would have all the answers. No, still figuring stuff out every single day. And one of those things is when you make a mistake, just go about fixing it. Don't make excuses. Don't say, I don't know, don't make shit up, but just fix it and do the right thing. So that's what I'm doing today, reshooting a video, because I love reshooting videos. And I just swore, so probably everyone will stop listening. Because should your grandma swear? I don't know, sometimes grandmas swear. Today on Supersize Your Business, we were talking about ace up your sleeves, and having an ace up your sleeve. Now all I have are Go Fish cards because I hang out with a 4-year-old every day, and I thought that was funny. I'm sure there's cards around, but since I just moved, I don't have a lot of that stuff at my fingertips or handily knowing where it is. And things like cards and holiday things, they went into storage. They didn't come with me in my temporary living arrangement. So, ace up your sleeve. I actually really like this expression from a positive standpoint. Of course, you can have an ace up your sleeve in a negative way. I think political campaigns and all that's coming down the pipe. I think blackmailers have aces up their sleeve, right? I just watched a show on Netflix a couple weeks ago about secrets in blackmailing, and I'm like, why am I watching this? But obviously, so that I would have it as a reference for this video. And then advantages, keeping some of your skills and abilities quiet. I know in corporate America, I would go to work for a corporation, and all of us have whole parts of our personality that we don't necessarily take to work with us, right? And some of those things ended up being my ace up my sleeve. There were skills and abilities and talents and things that people didn't necessarily know I had working in corporate America, but when I needed them in a positive way, I would pull them out and use them. Some examples would be, I love to cook. I'm a really good cook. I've been cooking my entire life. I'm one of those people that, okay, it's really weird and nerdy, but as a kid, I read cookbooks, and just for the fun of it, I would read cookbooks. So when it came time to cook, I didn't need recipes. I still don't need recipes. Once in a while, I'll use a recipe for something, but for the most part, I just throw things together and they turn out right. Why? Because I fed my brain so many cookbooks as I was growing up. And then I practiced and I mastered things, and I learned that some flavors definitely don't go together. But in corporate America, most people didn't know that I was a good cook, but when the situation arose, I could show up and bring things and pull things together that involved my cooking skills that were really, really impressive and good, right? When it came to putting together parties and events, I could pull together menus, and I could pull together and have really unique special things that added to that event, and that became one of my little secret advantages. But was it an ace up your sleeve? I don't know. I guess it was kind of an ace up my sleeve because I didn't use it, or I didn't share that information until it became relevant, right? Or until it became something that would benefit the organization I was working for. So ace up your sleeve. Do you have some aces up your sleeve? most of us do. We have skills and abilities and things that we're just awesome at that we totally forget about, right? We don't even think about it because it becomes so automatic for us. And we can share those with other people that we serve, people in our surrounding area, people that we serve in our businesses, people that are we're in relationships with. We can use those things to make life better. We can use them to make it worse, of course, but we can also use it to make them better. So talking about and thinking about competitive advantages and your genius zone and having aces up your sleeve. Just did day 13, or the number 13 countdown to the live challenge workshop, which begins March 23rd. And now it looks like I may be traveling again that week. So welcome to life, right? You never know what it's going to throw you. So I may or may not be traveling during the live workshop, but we're going to do the workshop anyway. I've already warned people that if I'm traveling, I need this block of time every day to deliver the live challenge workshop. And it's easy enough to do. I need an hour. I need an hour block a day from noon Eastern, so 11 o'clock my time it'll be. I need, no 4-year-old, no people in the background, no dogs. The good thing about traveling is there won't be dogs barking in the background. Otherwise, you never know what you're going to get. Some days I have dogs, some days I don't have dogs barking in the background. It depends. So today was all about what do you want? And, should that have probably been like number 20 or number 1 at the top of the list? Again, I'm not doing these 20 things to the challenge in any order. They're just, I made a random brainstormed list because that's what I do. I make a random brainstormed list. I'm like, all right, what are the top 20 lessons that I've learned? And I start writing them down. And you would think if I just numbered a sheet 20 down to 1, you'd think that they would come to my mind in a priority order, but not necessarily, right? Maybe it's the most recent thing that I thought of that came up first in my list. I don't know. But I didn't say, well, what's the 20th most important lesson I've learned, and then work my way down to the first most important lesson I learned. I would say there's actually no order to them. They're just random. But today we talked about what do you want, and actually getting clear and identifying and writing down what you want. We're also scared to pick one thing and share what we want. And I should have shared this example, but I didn't. I just thought about it now. Until we select a specific thing that we're going for, we will struggle and we will flim-flam and we will not get that thing. We will do everything under the sun to prevent us from getting that thing. And I have so many examples of that in my life. I think about picking a specific weight and how much I resist to saying, this is what my ideal weight needs to be, and picking a specific number and sticking to that number. Well, what happens if I don't pick that specific number? Guess what? My weight goes like this, right? And mostly it goes like this as I get older. But if I pick a specific number and I visualize that number and I stick to that number, I will automatically move toward that number. We tend to do the same thing with our finances and with the amount of money we want our businesses to make, the amount of money we want in our bank accounts. Money and weight, right? Money and weight are two huge topics, especially for me and for women. I don't know if they are for other women, but for me, picking a specific weight and picking a specific amount of money, I have to physically make myself do it and write it down, or I'm not going toward the same thing. And if I don't have a specific number in my mind, if I say, well, I can't decide on a specific number because really it should be less, but I don't want it to be more and I want to have a range around it, I got all kinds of excuses as to why I won't pick that specific number. But until I pick that number, I don't have a specific goal and set point that I'm going to. Same thing financially, same thing with our relationships. If I don't pick a relationship, if I don't commit to a relationship, if you don't commit to a person and build that relationship, you're going to be flim-flamming around and going from person to person to person, right? It works in all the areas and aspects of our life that way. That's why we have to decide what we want, knowing that we can change our mind, right? Say I decide I want to build let me think of an example. There's so many bad examples I don't want to give. I was going to say I decide I want to get married again. I don't even want to play up with that example. Okay, say I decide I'm going to make $1 million a year, and that's my goal. I write it down. I'm working toward $1 million a year, and I realize I am almost 60 years old, and I'm going to have to do X, Y, Z in order to make this a reality for me. I can always change my mind and say, guess what? I don't want to make $1 million a year. I only want to make $500,000 a year. Or guess what? $1 million a year is super duper easy. That's too small a goal. And as I'm working toward it, I say, okay, I don't want to make $1 million a year. I want to make $10 million a year. Whatever it is for you. But you pick that one thing, and then as you're moving toward it, you'll determine whether that goal needs to change or not, right? And guess what? The closer you get to that goal, the closer you get to that $1 million a year, or that $100,000 a year, or that $10,000 a month, or that $2,000 extra a month, whatever it is for you, the closer you get to that, you'll reevaluate and you'll say, I want to do something else. I want to do something more, because we always want to do more. So working on that. Live try, can't even talk today. Redoing a video today with sound. I don't know why sometimes I make my videos without sound. I mean, it's not like I haven't done it before, but I don't know. Sometimes I just get lazy and I'm in a time crunch in the mornings, so I'm making excuses. Stop making excuses. I effed up. We F up sometimes. We make mistakes. And then guess what? We just fix it. We do it over again. That's all I've got today. I've got a lot to get ready, because now if I am traveling again during the challenge, it means packing up my light, probably ordering a new ring light, because I'm tired of fighting with the cord on this one, and sometimes it works and sometimes it doesn't. And I won't have these other lights. I won't have this interesting background, that's for sure. I'm not sure where I'll be. I mean, I know where I'll be, but I'm not sure where I'll be there in terms of doing the live challenge. But it won't matter, because I can do it anywhere. That is the cool thing about online versus offline world. You can pretty much do what you do anywhere, and that's pretty powerful. You can do it with, I can go with a laptop and my cell phone, and I can keep doing what I'm doing, which is really exciting, right? I think it's exciting. I think it's pretty cool. It gives us a sense of freedom that we haven't had in the past. It gives us opportunities, at least someone my age, that weren't available when I was younger. It just, anytime you wanted to do something or start a business or expand or grow or make additional income, it wasn't easy. It always meant, when I was younger, going and getting a second job. That was your only option, which is part of why people believe and always say, oh, just go get a job, go get another job. Because for the majority of our lives, that was the only option. There wasn't an option to start your own business, or at least we didn't believe there was, because the barrier to entry was extremely high. I mean, there were a few businesses you could start for little or no money. Usually service businesses were less expensive to start, but for the most part, you had to have some kind of financial reserves in order to start whatever type business that you wanted. Nowadays, that's not true. You can really start a business on a shoestring budget. And you can actually, people don't believe me, but I can show you how to actually start a business for free. Of course, free doesn't mean no time and energy. If you don't have money, you need to put in time and energy. Some resources are always expended to create what we want. We always have to give value in order to get value in return, right? That's just an exchange of energy. That's the way the universe works. There's kind of no way around that. Anyway, if I can help you in any way, hit me up in the comments below. Just ask. Again, just ask. Otherwise, I will be with you tomorrow with another report on how is it going as I transition from the brick and mortar world of corporate America and all kinds of traditional businesses to the online world. All right, have an absolutely amazing day.